This Jaguar now trending on Twitter because of a run-in with the law. Dante Fowler in a bright orange jail uniform instead of the team's black and teal just a little more than a week before the start of training camp. We've been working to gather information since the news of Fowler's arrest broke this morning when he was released from jail in St. Petersburg, his hometown.
The 3-year veteran is charged with simple battery and criminal mischief, and we have now learned for the first time that Fowler was also arrested last year. Sam is standing by with his take on this new arrest. We begin, though, with Channel 4's Chris Parento, who broke the details of the 2016 arrest early this afternoon. He's joining us live from the stadium now. Chris.
A very eventful start to the NFL career of Dante Fowler Jr. off the field. That incident last night and this one from 2016 in Miami Beach outside of Fat Tuesdays when police charged Fowler with 2 misdemeanors, assault of a police officer and resisting arrest without violence. Both of those charges were eventually dismissed after Fowler completed a pretrial diversion program. Also this afternoon, I found 9 different traffic citations for Fowler since March of last year across 4 different counties. Just days before Dante Fowler returns to the field for preseason camp, he's now under the microscope for a different reason. Last night at this St. Petersburg apartment complex, police say another man yelled at Fowler as he drove by. Fowler then got out of his car and confronted the man before punching him. Police say the Jaguars' defensive end then stomped the man's glasses and threw his groceries into a lake. In a statement, a team spokesman said the Jaguars are, quote, aware of the situation involving defensive end Dante Fowler Jr. and are currently gathering more information. The team has been in communication with Dante. Fowler posted $650 bond around 1:45 this morning to get out of the Pinellas County Jail. This afternoon, we discovered Fowler had a previously unreported arrest in Miami Beach from March of 2016. He was charged with assault on a police officer and resisting arrest without violence in that instance. Those charges were dismissed after he completed a pretrial diversion program. Also last year, video surfaced of Fowler standing by as 2 women, one believed to be his girlfriend, the other the mother of his child, fought outside an apartment elevator. Fowler apologized for his actions in that video. Another thing of note about last night's arrest of Dante Fowler Jr., police say that man Fowler is said to have punched did not suffer any injuries during that altercation. No word right now on when Dante Fowler Jr. will be in court to face these charges. Live at the stadium tonight, I'm Chris Parento, Channel 4, the local station.
Anytime any player gets into trouble, the question fans always ask is, how much of a distraction will this be for the rest of the team?
Sam is joining us now with some remarkable comments other Jaguars defenders made about Fowler just last month. Sam.
Tom, veterans aren't supposed to report until next Wednesday, so it's a week before Fowler was scheduled to be in training camp with the Jaguars. When he was first drafted, his maturity was called into question based on that video that Chris showed, as well as the fact that he was a very young 20-year-old. And in talking to him, you realize that he was, for lack of a better phrase, not very worldly, not very mature. So Gus Bradley, his coach, talked often about the maturing process of Dante Fowler. And in fact, in this past offseason, his teammates say that he was maturing rather rapidly into the kind of player and person they wanted him to be.
He's definitely come out here this year with the chip on his shoulder. I know last year ended good, it was a good, healthy season for him, but he didn't do exactly what he wanted to do. So this year, he's stepping up.
He's the best athlete on the field, that guy's just special. His technique might not be perfect, but just the things he can do is amazing.
So it's hard to say exactly what will happen to Fowler. Apparently, he now will be subjected to perhaps discipline by the league and by the Jaguars. And don't forget, this is the first off-field problem that we have been made aware of under the new Tom Coughlin and Doug Marrone regime, which apparently has a very different discipline standard than has been here in the last 4 years. Tom?
Sam, one arrest of one player does not, of course, a season ruin. However, I just have a feeling you're going to be hearing from Jaguars fans after all the suffering that they've been through who are going to be saying, because of this arrest, here we go again.
Well, oftentimes fans really look at one player and point at him and go, he's the problem. That's why we should have gotten rid of him. Fowler has incredible physical gifts. He's a phenomenal football player. If he was not taken by the Jaguars with the 3rd pick in that draft, somebody would have taken him right after. But his maturity level has always been so low that he clearly has demonstrated once again with his actions yesterday that he doesn't understand that the law is the law and how you react in a controlled chaos situation on a football field is very different than how you can react when you're walking around as a citizen in everyday life.